Hey everybody, it's Andy's free guitar chart videos, now cello videos. Hello to my YouTube subscribers and my Facebook friends. This is kind of a new era in my music with the cello, and we also are going over to a new computer and new webcam setting and sitting where this webcam is and all that stuff. So now I'm going to try and balance this thing so that you can see the guitar, you know, so you're not going to be able to see the great Andy hat all the time, right? But we'll have to, you know, deal with that. So we got the guitar is in tune to P4 now. I'm sorry I said yesterday that the cello pattern, and by the way, this particular chart is chart 405, cello fiddle P5, 4 strings pattern, okay, tuning. The guitar is P4, P3, P4, right? And then fan up, down, string to string. So we're just going to have a little recap because yesterday I had so many technical difficulties. So I had to move it over to the new computer, and then I had done an edit because I'm going to be using Magic Edit Pro instead of Bandicam for editing. So you may still see that Bandicam screen if I decide to just use it to put some things together. But other than that, whatever's quicker. Other than that, we're going to see some quality edits, or you won't see them. They'll be seamless. So what do we got here? Let's just review yesterday. Whoops, keep banging into it. So I got my cello. I'm getting more used to it. I'm getting more used to the cello. I've got it kind of, you know, I've got the notes on the cello. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to do today, aside before getting into this stuff, because this stuff can be trouble. For instance, yesterday we didn't really cover this, and that is if you're on the 5th, okay, and you go up to the 2nd, that's going to be a scale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a modal scale of 5. So 2 is the second modal scale. 2 is the second modal scale of Ionian, but it's the 5th of Mixolydian. So it's going up a 5th in counting. Okay, but in these string shapes it goes up a 4th actually. But let's not worry about that. The point is the 2 will go right, the 5 will go right up to a half diminished triad. So if we're on this 5, this G here, okay, we go straight up to the 2, so it's 2, 3, 4. Okay, and it's 7 root 2. But if we look at the triad, we've got 7, 2, 4. It's like a half diminished triad. But what's more important is to know that one note goes up to 2 string shapes. Okay, now here we go. C goes to G. Now this is where it gets a little tricky. C goes to G over here. And if we go down to C, it will go to a D half diminished triad if we treat that C as the 6th. Now we're going to look at the C as the 6th. So the Aeolian, the 6th of what? Of C there. Okay, so we look at that. Actually, we're looking at it as we're playing a G, but now we're going to play a C. So when C goes straight up. Okay, we just did that. Let's do the C going straight down. So we got C going straight down to the 2. So once again, we've got our 2. Okay, and then a minor 3rd from there is the 4th. Minor 3rd down. So you should be getting used to these intervals. Okay, so that's the 7 triad. Alright, so going down to the string below from the 6th modal takes us down into the 7 triad. Okay, So remember, this is the 6 here. Here's the 6. There's the 7, which is a whole step. You know, it's just a coincidence. It's 2 different modes, so there's no reason to memorize it that way, but if you want to look at a perfect like fan out, fan down, any note that goes straight up, that's the 5th, this note, and this note will be a triad, the 7th triad. Any note that goes down is the 6th. This note, and this note will be the 7th triad. Whoopie-doo, right? More playing, less weird stuff, right? The most important thing, and you know, I just said we weren't going to do this, but we're going to do this. The most important thing is that a note that goes up, because we're looking, where am I? We're looking for the intervals. Here on guitar, we're looking for intervals, right? So in the G box here, for the G, I recognize that interval. That's a root interval. That's a root interval. Okay, in the C box, okay, it's a second inversion. Then you just move the G pattern up, but that's C instead of being straight above. Because of the tuning third, we have to adjust 1 fret to the right. Okay, so notes go up. What are the patterns there? And we talked about that. We do want to look at this. If we look at root, okay, here's root. Root to the 3rd and to the 5th. It goes off to the right. Okay, or we could do what cellists use. I call them cellists. I'm sorry if that's the wrong word. What celloists, what usually they do is like root 5, 3 root. So let's see if we. Now I don't have the guitar tuned today to a cello tuning, but you can do that. Just treat the B string is going to stay the same. The B is the B. Take the E string way down to this G. The A string becomes this D. The D string becomes this A. Okay. The G string becomes this E. The B string stays the same, and the high E string becomes an F sharp. So you're just taking it up 1 as if you were bending that note. But I caution you, if you don't want to do that, or you think you're going to bend the note anyway, or your action's too high and you might break the string, just do it with the 5 notes and keep the top 1. Maybe tune that back down to the E2, so to the B, so you'd have B string on both 5 and 6, so it sounds cool. Anyway, today I got the guitar tuned to the guitar, so I'm not going crazy with that. So what I was looking at today, I wanted to know, how can I get all the way up this pattern in pentatonics or whatever. So you got, starting here, root 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, root, 2, 3, root, 6, 7, root. But if we start 6, 7 root up here, we've got, you know, if I had the bow, it might be easier, but 6, 7, root, and then 2. So try that one more time. 6. Okay. If we have 6 root 2 up here, sorry, not 6, 7 root, 6 root, my bad there, 2, 3, 5, 6. Okay. See, we can't play that up here because it's only 4 strings. So let's try that pentatonic. 3-5-6 root. Now this 3-5-6 root is the top of the pentatonic of the Mixolydian box. And by the way, I started on pentatonics. Okay, I started on pentatonics on the guitar. Okay, so that's one way to access and get to this. But guess what? If we look at this pattern, folks, look at the pattern. Don't look at Andy's teeth are missing. Because they finally gave up. The ones that were giving me trouble my whole life, they finally fell out. That's okay, because the other ones are stronger. What doesn't kill me makes me stronger. Anyway, this is the pattern. So we start root 2. The pentatonic is in the white. The string shape accidentals in the key of C would be, you know. But actually, it isn't even in the key of C. Whatever that root is, this would be the each string shape. Here's our big F sharp over here. Key of F sharp. Okay, that's key of F sharp. So we did a little ditty, and then we play like a little bit in F sharp. What I'm trying to show you is, and I'll have to use the mouse because I have a tendency to try and point to the screen. That's not going to work. 7 root 2 3 4. Now this, so we're not doing the 4-note pattern. So let's skip the 7 tab and just take it from root and F sharp. Okay, so that was our little F sharp scale. So we've got our different patterns, and we've got the different chords in each pattern. So it would be root 5 3 root over here. Then we move that down. The 5 moved down. We have 5 3 root 5. Move that pattern down, so 2 goes down to here. See how it goes down to there? Pick it up from 3 root 5 now to 3 there. Now when we get to Aeolian, we move the pattern down again. 6 comes down here. We're going to have to go root 5 3 5. We're going to have to go back for this 5 if we want to stay in the Aeolian scale. So let's look at Aeolian. We're going to have an AG 6 7 root 2 6 7 root 2. Then we have a CA 3 4 5 6. Then 7 root 2 3. Then back over here, you see the 4 up there on the left. 4 5 6 7. That's a nice big string shape there, and it's 4 whole steps kind of thing. 1 2 3 whole steps in a row from the 4th. That's a nice big string shape. The regular 6 pattern or shaped chord, whatever you want to call it, it's going to start here, root 5, then 3 up here, and then back to 5.